Jamie Dornan, a Northern Irish actor with deep eyes and a warm demeanor, not only captivates the public through his strong and emotional roles, but also creates a special attraction in the love stories woven around him. Although in real life, Jamie is extremely private, in this fictional world, his emotional journey sparkles with very unique levels, sometimes gentle, sometimes intense, and sometimes completely unexpected. 1. First love in Belfast. At the age of 17, Jamie is said to have had an innocent love affair with a girl in his class named Aileen. They met in the school music club. Jamie played the guitar at that time and Aileen had a clear voice. In the afternoons after school, they sat on the lawn together, composing small songs just for the two of them. However, when Jamie moved to London to pursue a modeling career, the two quietly let go. No tears, just a smile and the words, "If we meet again, we will tell each other beautiful stories." 2. Passionate love story with the painter. During his early years as a model, Jamie is said to have met Helena, a young painter with a free and liberal style. She liked to paint his portrait in the mornings when the sunlight slanted through the window of her small apartment in Paris. They loved each other passionately but also had many ups and downs. Jamie was constantly on business trips. Helena hated being constrained. Their love was like a painting, beautiful but without a frame. 3. Astronomical love on set. In a film project, Jamie collaborated with Lucia, an actress from Spain. They shared a passion for stargazing. After each intense scene, they climbed to the roof of the hotel, looked at the Milky Way and told each other secret things that they had never told anyone. That love is lasting in gentleness, until the end of the movie. And sometimes, the end of the movie also means the end of a love story. 4. Present the maturity of the heart. According to this fictional story, Jamie finally realizes that what he is looking for is not a passionate love or an overly romantic one, but someone who makes him feel at peace when he returns. In this version, Jamie finds it in a normal girl, Allora, who loves baking and hates noise. She doesn't know much about movies, doesn't care about the spotlight, just likes Jamie singing idly every morning. And that is what makes his heart stay. Peaceful days with Allora. Since meeting Allora, Jamie's life has slowed down. No more constant flights, lavish parties, or suffocatingly tight schedules. Instead, there are mornings with the smell of cinnamon rolls and soft acoustic music playing from the small wooden speakers in the kitchen. Allora always wakes up earlier than him. She likes the quiet moments before dawn, where thoughts can line up neatly, without jostling. When Jamie wakes up, the first thing he sees is her small back standing by the stove, her hair loose, the early morning sunlight shining through the window creating a warm halo that seems to outline her figure. "You look like a ray of sunshine that stands upright," Jamie once said. Allora laughed. "And you? You're the lucky one who gets to see that ray of sunshine every day." A little storm. But love is never all roses. Despite the simple life he had chosen, Jamie was still Jamie, the actor, the public face, the man who was always in the spotlight. There were days when Allora felt so small that she disappeared. Especially when they appeared together at a small restaurant in town, and curious eyes began to follow. One evening, when Jamie returned from a short business trip, he found Allora sitting pensively by the window, her apron still on. "You're used to the attention," she said softly, "and I'm not. I don't want to be a name that people talk about." Jamie didn't answer right away. He walked over, sat next to her, and gently took her hand. "I don't need the world to see us," he said, "I just need you to see me." The words weren't loud, but they were enough to warm the winter. They learned to love slowly. From there, they chose to love in their own way. No photos posted online. No public appearances when not necessary. No letting the world decide the value of the relationship. They kept their love in a small space, but a space big enough for two hearts to breathe freely. Every afternoon, they walked under the trees on the edge of town, competing to guess the shape of the clouds. One day, Allora pointed to the sky. "What do you think that cloud looks like?" Jamie looked up, thoughtful. "Like an unspoken promise." Allora smiled, a smile that made his heart slow down a beat. Autumn came slowly that year, as if it wanted to take more time to paint the golden sunlight on every roof in the small town where Jamie and Allora lived. The maple leaves changed from green to orange, then red, and then the treetops turned into gentle fires that lit up the chilly air. Jamie always loved autumn, perhaps because he felt it was like himself. Calm on the outside, but always with something intense burning inside. A special afternoon. That afternoon, Allora was sitting at the wooden table, kneading dough for apple pie. She brushed a strand of hair away from her face, her movements as natural as breathing. Jamie stood silently behind her, looking at her, and a very clear feeling suddenly arose in his heart. If only this moment could last forever, it would be great. He didn't say anything, he just put his hand on her shoulder, whispering softly, "Can you go out with me for a while?" Allora looked up, her eyes gentle. "Okay, but if I take you out for ice cream in the cold wind, you'll be mad." Jamie laughed. "I promise. No ice cream, just a walk. Maple tree." They came to a small hill where the maple tree they used to sit against every afternoon stood. Red leaves fell around them like a silent rain, each one touching the ground like a whisper of autumn. Jamie stood before Allora. His eyes at that moment were not the eyes of an actor, a celebrity, or a man who had been through brilliant and complicated love affairs. They were simply the eyes of a lover. "You know," Jamie said, his voice slow, "I used to think love was something that made my heart race. But then I met you. And you made my heart calm down." Allora paused slightly. The wind blew, carrying the scent of apples and cinnamon from the house far behind. Jamie reached into his pocket. But he didn't kneel, he didn't want his promise to be like anyone else's. He just placed a delicate silver ring in Allora's palm, like one would put the most important thing in the safest place. No big ceremony, no public announcement, no promise of forever, just, "You choose to stay with me tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, we choose each other again." Allora looked at the ring. Then at Jamie. There were answers that didn't need to be spoken, because the eyes answered first. She stepped forward, wrapping her arms around him, slowly and surely. "I choose you," she whispered into his chest. "Today, tomorrow, and the next tomorrow." That autumn. No one knew about that moment but the two of them. No fireworks, no newspapers, no social media. Just two people, a red maple tree, and a promise to choose each other every day. And sometimes, the most beautiful love is like that. After the day under the maple tree, they didn't tell anyone. No party, no glittering engagement rings on social media, no noisy congratulations. Just the two of them and a promise big enough to hold their future. A home starts from a small window. They chose to live in a small cabin on the side of a hill. Not a mansion, not a lavish place. Just a place with a window overlooking the woods, where the morning sun casts a long strip of light on the floor like a carpet inviting the two of them to step into a new day. Jamie set up a piano stand in the living room, and every morning he would practice his unfinished pieces. But Allora said she liked the unfinished pieces best, because they're like life, always in the process of getting better. Allora placed the baking table near the window, where the breeze would carry the scent of vanilla and butter throughout the room. Jamie said it smelled like happiness, knowing he was in the right place. Peaceful days have their own rhythm. They have little habits. Jamie always makes coffee, because he believes he makes it better. Allora always cuts dried flowers and puts them in small vases in the house. Every evening, they will walk around the dirt path leading to the lake together, no matter how cold it is. And when they get home, Allora will ask the same question every day. Are you tired? Jamie will answer, yes, but I am peaceful. Sometimes peace is the most beautiful answer to life. A rainy evening. One day, when it started to rain, Allora was drying fresh baked bread on the shelf. Jamie stood on the porch, watching the rain fall in streams on the roof tiles. Are you ever afraid? Allora asked, her voice as soft as rain. Afraid of what? Jamie turned back. Afraid all this will disappear. Afraid that one day love will get tired too. Jamie stepped forward, placed his hand on her cheek, slowly, very slowly, letting each word sink into her heart before reaching her ears. I've loved beautiful loves that didn't stay. I've held on to bright things that melted away in the light. But you. He touched his forehead to hers. You're not the light I chase. You're the roof I return to. Allora closed her eyes. Raindrops fell outside. And inside was the warm season. Tomorrow. No one knew the future. But they knew how to choose each other every day. And that's what made a love become life.